It's mid-August and we're finally starting to get some cool nights, and with that the water temps are finally starting to drop as well. What happens then is the smallmouth bass start changing their habits. Melinda Hayes and I are out on Mille Lacs Lake today, and we're going to show you what to expect and how to catch them as summer fades into fall. This guy just came railing up and nailed it. You know, one of the neat things about this time of year is the only change the smallmouth have really made right now is they've slid a little bit deeper. So the same spots I was fishing here a couple weeks ago when we did the topwater show, the fish are right in the same neighborhood. And boy, this guy, he's in no hurry to come in. But the fish are right in that same area. So what I can do is actually just come through and sit outside of those areas a little bit, and I'm able to get these fish. But there's one other thing I'm doing. I'm fishing closer to the bottom. You can see I'm fishing a yum dinger, and there's a reason for this. These fish are not attacking bait that's up in the water column anymore. They're spending more time down on the bottom now. So those same areas that you were catching those fish on topwaters earlier, they're still good, but the fish are feeding down. So you got to change your presentation and work something slower, work it along the bottom, and you'll get more fish. I'll tell you what, all said and done, this is the time of year to get out here and have some fun pitching a worm, because these fish have just slid off that edge. It's really simple to stay on them and keep catching them. Fish like that one right there, they're going to stay put on these rock piles for the next 2 to 3 weeks, and they're really easy to catch when they're here. Look at that one. Bring it right over here and I'll net it for you, Melinda. Oh, geez. That fish saw the net and didn't want anything to do with it. I want to show you something really cool on this smallmouth. Melinda just got a big one here, but look at this. Look at his forehead. That fish is all beat up, and there's a reason for it. This fish is actually eating crayfish. And what I'm doing is I've got the boat sitting right on top of these spots, and we're casting and working a worm right over the top. And when we talk about working a worm, I want to explain to you exactly why we're doing it. You know, earlier in the year, we're working with these topwater baits because the fish are feeding on minnows, so they're up. But now you can tell by that big mark on this smallmouth's forehead that he's actually eating crayfish now. He's digging down in there. And that's why we switched over to fishing a yum dinger. Now what we're fishing is real simple. It's just a 4-inch yum dinger, and we're working it along the bottom. And you know, sometimes we'll run a weight, sometimes we won't. Now Melinda just switched over to running a weight. Okay, and I'm gonna set this fish down and I'm gonna show you exactly what we're doing here. But you can see this weight is on here, and all you do is you put that right above a swivel, okay? Now this dinger's slid up there, but you can see I've just got a swivel tied to superline, okay? And then I've got 17-pound silver thread fluorocarbon. And all we do then is we just hook this up, and we're running them weedless today, okay? But you can also fish them wacky. A 4-inch yum dinger though on Mille Lacs Lake for smallmouth is just, I don't know, it's pretty tough to beat. And all said and done, you know, they also come in other sizes. You can get them in a 5-inch, you can get them in a 6-inch. So it puts you in a position where no matter where you're fishing for smallmouth throughout the Midwest, you can get a yum dinger that's gonna work. One more thing I wanna point out is you look at the color I'm using. On Mille Lacs Lake here, we have some really clear water. So what we're gonna use is more your natural colors. I'm gonna use your greens, your blacks, your purples, okay? This is actually watermelon gold flake. Now, if I was fishing in a dirty water situation, like say the Mississippi River where they're running a lot of water right now, that's where I'm gonna go with a brighter color, you know, something that's got some fluorescent green in it, stuff like that, white, pearl type colors, and that'll help you catch more fish by paying attention to those colors. I'm gonna get Melinda her fish and have her let this one go. It's a great smallmouth. always amazing to me how when you change your cadence or your speed, you catch fish. And that's one of those times where I went a long ways without catching a fish. Melinda's been in the back of the boat just schooling me. And you know, I paid attention to what she was doing, and I do this in the boat all the time, and you should too, is if you got somebody you're fishing with, watch what they're doing, because it's not just dumb luck if somebody's catching more fish than you are. And look at the size of this smallie. This guy's a giant. But what she was doing is she's fishing a lot slower than I am. So all I did was I slowed down there, and I let this dinger just work itself and float out there a little bit longer, and that guy grabbed it. And I think that's the key to the catch today. Realistically, it's all been about speed. When we've caught fish, we've slowed down, and you know, we've been fighting this northeast wind all day long. What does that tell you? It's a cold front. And all said and done, in that situation, all you want to do is slow down a little bit. Just work that worm a little bit slower, let it get down a little bit lower in the water column, and you'll catch a lot of fish. It's not supposed to be this way all week, but if you do run into those conditions, do that. Speed up a little bit if you end up with stable weather and those south winds, and it'll all work out the same for you right there. That was a great day of fishing, and there's a whole bunch of great smallmouth fishing in front of us over the next month and a half. For more current and up-to-date information, check back with us next week. I'm John Thielen. We'll catch you on the water.